Wicca is not witchcraft, and witchcraft is not spirituality. So if you want to find out why I think so, please stay tuned. Hello and welcome back everyone, or welcome if you're new. I'm Witch Hazel, and in my videos you will find hopefully informative and or at least entertaining information about my witchy journey. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about wording. This is very important to me because I write, that's what I do. And words, using the correct words in the correct scenario is, I think, quite important. Very often there's a lot of confusion between terms and the meaning of those different terms within witchcraft. And this is likely due to the fact that witchcraft is so individual. There is no set guideline for how to practice it. Now, one can argue, oh, but there are set guidelines. You have things like Wicca. Wicca is a religion. It is a religion which incorporates witchcraft. But the two do not necessarily have to go together. And this is why you end up with Christian witches or Catholic witches or Jewish witches, because the two concepts are not necessary to go together. What differentiates a religion from a practice, a spiritual practice, is the fact that it is a set of guidelines. It is a set of guidelines and rules. At the very minimum, in Wicca, we practice what? We have to celebrate the Sabbats, the 8 Sabbats. Or don't have to, but you get the point, right? Celebrate the full moon. Connect to things with the old religion, meaning pagan religion before Christianity. Whatever variation thereof you want to focus on, that is the focus of your religious pursuit. And religion is generally useful because it provides a calendar. It provides accountability in the form of a schedule. We know when the full and new moons are going to come around. We know when the Sabbats are. So this is kind of a trigger mentally that, okay, I have to do my religious stuff. The problem with Wicca, as with any religion, is it can be just that. It can be just us going through the motions of doing these things because our religion says we have to do these things, but does it really mean anything to me when I do it? Maybe, maybe not. So that is why I say Wicca is not witchcraft, because remember, witchcraft, from what I tried to explain in my last video, is awareness, self-awareness of what we want in life, who and what we are in our relationship to the divine, whatever you want to call that divine. So if I am just kind of going through the motions of this religious practice, there's not any sort of internal connection with this divine relationship, and therefore there is no witchcraft in my definition of what witchcraft is. So then we have the next issue, which is many of us tend to associate witchcraft with spirituality, and it can be extremely close. These two are much closer than religion and witchcraft. But here I will also say they are not the same. And for me, the reason is because this goes back to the idea of witchcraft being active and nature-based. I think I'm going to talk more about this in a different video. I don't want this one getting too long. But if you've noticed, you may have noticed, there is a difference if you are searching on something like YouTube for information about witchcraft versus information about spirituality. There's a definite difference of aesthetics, there's a difference of theme and feel, even though many of the topics overlap between the two. And the three things I want to kind of compare and contrast within witchcraft and spirituality is an idea of, to me, it's kind of where is your focus? And this is going to sound lousy, but trust me, I will explain it later on in the end. There is a high focus and a low focus in how I understand this. Witchcraft is the low focus, spirituality is the high focus. They can be bridged, and that is kind of the overarching theme that I want to start to have in this channel, is bridging the gap between everyday witchcraft as it's portrayed currently through venues like blogs and YouTube, and the spirituality that has become so popular as kind of an alternative. I don't think one is any better than the other, but I do believe one is perceived better than the other when it maybe shouldn't be. So there is this high and low focus, and the other major difference, in my opinion, is active versus passive. Witchcraft is active, and remember, nature-based. Spirituality is passive and spirit-based. But more on that next week. Today, I just wanted to make it very clear that words are important, definitions are important, and the words that we use to define our path are important. So be very clear when you say, I'm a witch, or I'm a Wiccan, I'm a spiritualist. Be very clear on what that means to you, because we never want to portray ourselves in a way that does not mesh with our beliefs and our values. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit, and please let me know in the comments whether or not you agree. Do you agree that these things are all separate? Do you disagree? And why? Until next week, everyone, thanks very much and blessed be.